Today on the show, me and Tim pretty much talk shit about that silly-ass Dark Phoenix movie. No claw, no law. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael, aka Rickshaw, and welcome to Worship and Tribute Nerd. Today we have Tim with us, one of my good buddies that I've known from touring. He used to be in the band Within the Ruins, if anybody knows that band. You know, I mean, I was a fan, you know.
You know.
So what's been up, man?
Not much, man. Been doing some stuff musically. Just started a new project that is unnamed and
Okay.
kind of exciting. But beyond that, I've been doing tattoo removal.
Okay.
With lasers, with freaking lasers.
Right.
Been cool.
And and that's cool because you know what? If there's one thing that every person on Earth needs, is someone to remove a couple of tattoos. You know what I mean? Especially people our age.
Yeah. Business has been good. So yeah, I work for a company called Clean Slate Laser, and I work in Midtown Manhattan like a grown up.
Right.
Pretty cool. Beyond that, my fiance and I just found a spot to open our own shop.
Nice.
Which is cool. So we're doing that in Brooklyn. Should be open early next year, and it'll be tattoo and tattoo removal. So that's on the docket in major. And I'm getting married. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
In November.
Congratulations.
Can't forget to mention that when she's sitting right next to me. Totally getting married in November.
That's awesome. Are you happy? Are you excited?
Yes.
That's awesome.
It's not as well. As it comes closer, it's in November. So as it gets closer, I'm sure it'll get more and more stressful. But for right now, I think we're managing pretty good.
I went to a wedding. One of my buddies got married the other day, and like my girlfriend kept being like, well, you know, like we should wear this or wear that, and I was like, I'm not gonna wear my jacket, you know, because it's hot, it's Texas, you know. And I was like, if I was getting married, the last thing I would notice is what people wore to my wedding. You know what I mean? And then one of our friends got fired from work and showed up in shorts. And I talked to John, the guy that got married, and within the first 5 minutes of our conversation, and he goes, "Fuck, you wore shorts." I was like, I literally would not. I guess maybe I would. Maybe I would be like, "Yo, bitch, why'd you wear shorts to my wedding?"
For my best friend's wedding a couple of years ago, my friend brought a girl who wore a white dress. I mean, I didn't know you weren't supposed to do that, but I knew you weren't supposed to do that.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I guess people pay attention.
Yeah. So.
Especially, I mean, if you're wearing like shorts or a white dress,
right?
Not the brand.
Or like scuba gear or some shit.
Walking around fucking whatchamacallits, the flippers.
Flippers. So you're in a musical project, but it's not named yet. It's not.
Yeah, there's no name. It's with two dudes that I have played in bands with before.
Right.
Prior to being signed or touring or any of that. Yeah, with the stars just kind of aligned, and we were like, yeah, let's do some stuff.
Is it a heavy project?
Yeah, heavy,
cool.
heavy and melodic.
Cool.
So yeah, it's still kind of taking shape. I don't even know what to say about it yet.
Right, it's still a baby, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, I guess people put their babies on Facebook all the time, so it's less than a baby. It's like a uterus.
Yeah.
So you still keep up with the guys Within the Ruins?
Oh, all the time. Joe's at my wedding party.
Cool.
I share memes with Steve and Paulo all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Drummer is off the grid, as he always is. Like,
what is it about drummers?
I don't know, but I'll send him a text just being like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then like 2 months later, I'll get a response.
Yeah,
and it'll be like a 3-word response, and I'm like, "Cool, man."
If it's like anyone in the band that's going to be weird or sheltered or like cut off, secluded, or, you know, you have to walk on eggshells, it's always the drummer. Shout out to all my drummers.
They got They got the most shit to carry and the most shit to worry about. So I get it.
Do you think that's the whole metaphor of the situation? Is like they carry things, and it's a weight on them.
They always have shit to do after the show. Like everyone's partying and they're fucking taking symbols off their symbol stand.
Yeah. And they're always like looking at you, like you're like, hey, we're gonna go get sandwiches, and they're always looking at you like,
yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and set my drums up again.
Yeah, Mikey used to like genuinely try to make us all feel bad about that, and we're like, you chose the drums, bro.
Oh man, how are your dudes? When you knew with Buzz and Lee.
Okay, the worst intentions.
The worst intentions, yes.
Yeah, we did some stuff, and then we all realized that we are super busy people, and so it's just kind of hard to get together. And then, if I'm going to be quite honest, we played this emo show where we picked some of our favorite songs to play, and then we sucked. So I was like, maybe we shouldn't play in a while. Like, let's just let everybody do their own thing. That we were so busy that it was just like we get together and practice here and there, and then we're like, yeah, we should be good. And then we get to the show, and everybody's like, that was fun. Okay.
Shout out to that Spirit Box project, by the way.
Oh yeah, Spirit Box is sick.
Kicks ass.
Yeah, whenever I heard that. There was talks of me being in that band for a little bit, and then they live in Canada, and I was just kind of like, you guys.
Yeah, they live in like far Canada.
Yeah, and so in the end, I was like, as much as I want to be in this band, you guys need to do whatever you need to do because I would live in Texas.
Far.
Yeah, far away. So, but they seem to be doing very well for the amount of time that they've been doing it. So
yeah.
So somebody signed them already, Jeez.
I agree.
Yeah, because I've showed it to some of my friends, and they're like, "What label are they on? When's the tour?" And I'm like, "They just started," and all my friends are like, "What? Like, how is this not a touring project?" So.
Yeah. Well, these days you don't need a label anymore.
Right. But nowadays it's dangerous to do a tour without, you know what I mean, without big management and big
some kind of backing.
Right. So it's tough out there. Warped Tour's dead. What was the other?
There's no more summer tours. Mayhem is dead.
What was the other one? Mayhem.
Yeah. Summer Slaughter's still going.
Oh yeah.
With the Faceless on it every year.
Right. This should just be the Faceless tour, you know what I mean? So, do you want to get into some nerdy shit now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. So, let me know. What, comics, movies, whatever. Well, tell me your shit.
First, I want to talk some shit about the Dark Phoenix movie.
Oh, you've been waiting.
I've been waiting to unload.
Dude.
On that.
All right. Verdict.
We probably have the same issues. Right. But maybe we have,
So just give me an overall. What did you think of it?
It was, I almost turned it off, but I wanted to keep watching just so I had more stuff to complain about.
Right. It's laughable. It is like a parody.
Yeah, and it's like one of my favorite X-Men stories.
I know,
ever.
And that's and they that was like the second time they tried.
Yeah. Again,
I'm gonna let you talk about it for a little bit, and then I will talk about all my shit, with it because these are things that I say at least once a week to some person at work that's like, "Why are you yelling at me?"
Okay, so
right.
My first gripe is X-Men Apocalypse. I didn't need it. It was okay.
It was tolerable.
But at the end of that movie, she unleashes the Phoenix.
Right.
And then here we are with this movie, same cast.
Right. And they pretended it never happened.
Never happened.
Already. It's already within the first 10 minutes of the movie, you're like, huh?
What? Did this happen before Apocalypse? But no, it happened after because fucking Magneto is on Genosha
Right.
after all this shit happened.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what the fuck? There was a space mission.
Right. That was cool, but...
Which, you know, that happened.
Right.
But then they're in space, and Storm summons the weather.
You know what? I thought...
Doesn't exist
I was thinking of that, too. No, there's a lot of stuff like that, honestly. Like, I could be like, okay, hold up. How about this? They're in space, and they're like, Nightcrawler, you gotta go over there, and you gotta rescue these people, right? So then Quicksilver's like, I'll make him a helmet out of, like, some hose and, like, a plastic bag or something. And he, like, makes a little helmet. And then it's like, and then, so, you know, like, even a 6-year-old child would be like, I don't think that would work.
Yeah.
and then after that, they're like, we need to get Jean over there. They get Jean over there. They don't even put a helmet on her. They're just like,
no,
whatever.
Yeah, like she can hold her breath.
Right.
Fine.
Also, like, you know, it's cool whenever there's like weird things that happen with action figures and toys, but when they do them on screen, like, Cyclops, we need to stop that thing, and he's like, okay, I will go into the optic blast bowels of the ship to the optic blast shooter cannon thingy. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, okay, I guess they're just going with an action figure vibe, you know? Next they'll be like, Scuba Cyclops.
You know, all of his attachments.
Yeah. So when they confront the Phoenix, Professor does, and she lifts him out of his chair, and then starts dragging him up the stairs or whatever, like kind of forcing him to walk. He's like, ah. And like, I remember seeing all these people like, why is he in pain? He can't feel his legs.
Yeah. Oh my god, I just remember what part you're talking about. Right.
Yeah. So
it's
that's why it's like, it's so funny.
I mean, I love James McAvoy. He's an excellent actor, but
yeah,
the acting by everyone else was just terrible. And Sophie Turner's great. Sansa Stark all day, but
she's just not Jean Grey.
No, she's not.
Like, Jean Grey is like,
you can tell because you know she's English as fuck.
Yeah,
you can tell that she's trying to have an American accent. And
yeah.
It's very obvious.
Well, Jean Grey's a badass bitch too, so it's like, you know, you can't get this person that's like acted as a weak, whiny person. You know, all Game of Thrones has been is her being weak and whiny, and then, you know, she eventually gets strong in a manipulative way. But that's not Jean Grey at all. None of that shit is Jean Grey.
Yeah, they're all
right. Okay, we're gonna cut that. Listen, I tell all my friends and whoever I do interviews with, we could be sketchy at least once or twice. But you push into, we're cutting it. You push into racism, we're cutting it, dude.
Yeah, it's cool.
Right. No. Every X-Men movie almost every one we've seen, when there's a group of evil mutants, they always give really dumb powers out to all the mutants.
Yeah.
Right. Do you remember which dumbass was in this one?
Fuck.
Dreadlock guy.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like past movies. It's like the dude that, you know, threw fucking toothpicks at Wolverine.
Yeah.
Or his fucking arms.
Or the dude with the like pufferfish spikes or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that scene. Like, I watched I watched like a lot of the old ones before Dark Phoenix came out, just because I could be, you know, so I could be like, oh my god, whatever. I just so anyways, that scene where that pufferfish dude like hugs someone and then like lets out his spikes, and they're like and then it's like insinuates that literally killed the person. I was like, what?
Just needs a couple of band-aids.
I was like,
really?
Can we get a fucking better mutant in there? Like, what the fuck is happening? They should have just stopped the movie. Can we have a better mutant? They were like, oh, hey, we're gonna go to the outer atmosphere to rescue all these astronauts, and then they're like, is the Blackbird like equipped to do that? And they were like, kinda, I think. And they're like, let's
We're gonna
go.
send all of our main characters into space on a whim. Fuck it.
Exactly. They're like, and Beast, the smartest one of them, can't really answer if it's cool or not. He's just kind of like, I don't know, I don't think so. And they're like, fuck it, we're gone.
And yeah, I mean, this version of Beast, he's always been a little bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
And that just continued on in this movie.
Like, the best thing about this movie was the fact that it's over now. Like, they've slaughtered this franchise like beyond repair several times and still tried to keep it going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Apocalypse and Days of Future Past, I liked.
yeah. I mean, well, I didn't like Apocalypse that much.
Can you hear the beeping in the background?
I can.
It's New York City.
Yeah, just poke your head out the window and go, I'm fucking recording here. Fucking talking here.
I'll open the window like, shut the fuck up. Gotta love it. New York. As soon as you close the window, the beeping stops. Oh, man. But moving on into other things, I haven't been reading that many comics, which I'm pretty bummed about because I haven't been super busy.
Right.
Like a stack in my entertainment center that I'm looking at right now that I haven't read yet.
Right.
Like 30 comics that I need to read.
Honestly, so they just so you know how recently Disney bought Fox, right?
Yep.
So, you know, they have the X-Men back now, so what do you know? They like rebooted the X-Men comics and it's like a huge story and they're like putting, you know, big writers on it and it's been really awesome. So
sick.
Do you want me to?
So you may follow like that kind of storyline with the new.
I don't think they will. I think they'll still stick to traditional X-Men stuff because the way they handle this kind of reboot that they're doing is like they take into consideration all of the shit you've known about X-Men and then did a reboot with that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So what else you got? What kind of shows you been into lately?
Shows. I still need to finish The Boys.
Ooh, The Boys was so good.
You haven't seen it yet?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like 3 episodes to go.
Yeah.
Because I started it, I binged it, and then I stopped. So then I need to get back into that.
Yeah. No, that was really good all the way through.
What else? It's not superhero related, but the 3 from Hell comes out soon.
Today.
I
Yeah.
saw Rob Zombie post something, but it was like select theaters only.
Oh yeah, maybe it was. I saw at my Alamo Draft House where I live. They're showing it today, tomorrow, and the day after that. But,
yeah, I don't know when like the national release is.
But honestly, you know, I haven't been into Rob Zombie for a while, so.
Neither have I.
Like
I haven't seen. I saw. Well, no, I didn't see 31.
I saw 31 and it was
the other
boring.
one. Yeah, I didn't hear good things. What was the one after that?
There was like the Lords of Salem.
Lords of Salem. Didn't see that.
I didn't really see that either. I saw like a clip or two.
Yeah, but I was a huge like House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects fan. So
I was originally, but then I watched House of a Thousand the other day, and I was like, I don't know. I felt kind of dated to me. I don't know. It felt like
it came out a while ago.
It did. Yeah. And I, you know, not having so much teen angst now, I was like, just wasn't that into it because like also the way that he was doing things back then, because it was like one of his first movies or whatever, it was just like there was a lot of like sequences or scene changes where it was just like Cherry dancing and weird music playing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It'd be like, and you'd be like, what? Why did the scene change like that? It's like,
yeah.
It's like, I get it. Rob Zombie wants to be like 70s weirdo laughing style stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so based on what you've seen trailer wise, how do you feel about Joaquin Phoenix?
Oh, I think it'll be good, and
Yeah,
and I'm a big Joker fan,
rated
and
R. I didn't know it was rated R until I saw a trailer the other day on TV and I saw the R rating. I was like, oh shit.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I hope it's good. I've just lost faith in the DC movies so badly that like it's hard for me to get excited about it.
Well, that like I mean, Wonder Woman kicked ass, but
Yeah,
the whole Justice League
yeah, the whole
era
debacle.
DC movies and all
Yeah.
the failure Batmans, you know,
Well, there wasn't even
which one
a
I'm talking about.
Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
and then yeah,
Like they could
I
have
have no
just at least tried to give us a Batman movie. It's like, hey, remember the franchise that stood alone for several years before we got anything else? Batman?
yeah,
And then
yeah,
they didn't even try to give us a Batman movie. It was like, fuck.
yeah. I wanted them to do Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton.
Oh yeah, that would be dope. I
That'd be
want
super dope.
I just want Michael Keaton as Batman in any form now. You know what I mean? Like bring him back.
I read an interview where he was like super into that idea,
Yeah.
and it just never materialized.
Right.
But I think Joaquin Phoenix is gonna be dope. He
Right.
lost like a weight for it.
Hmm.
It looks like a Michael Scorsese film based on the trailers.
Hmm. Do you
So
think
I'm into it.
do you think it's going to be tied to Batman in any way?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I've tried to like look up like theories and stuff, and there's like nothing about it. So I think it just might be like standalone, win a bunch of awards type movie,
Right. And
or
then
completely tank.
yeah. Or that too.
Yeah.
I've been, it's like we live in such a weird day and age where it's like you hear all this shit, so it's like it's hard to get excited and it's hard to feel a certain way because it's like the Joker movie's getting raving, like recommendations. Everybody's saying it's
Yeah.
great. And then today I got online and it was like some people aren't enjoying the Joker movie as much as others, and I'm like, here we go.
Yeah. It's just what you do for the hype train. It's like,
Right.
oh, some people said it sucks,
Yeah, yeah,
but then everyone sees it and like, no, this is fucking amazing.
yeah. I mean, we've definitely like the marketing strategies have went savage, like have went caveman era because it's just like, the New York Times says it's good, and then it's like, but this other one said it sucked. Joker. It's like that's the marketing nowadays.
Oh man,
It's like a
Hey, babe.
campaign.
Can you grab me another claw? You got that one.
Yeah, I got you on that one. Yo, babe, give me a claw. I'm gonna sell this to Claw
Hey,
for a
babe.
commercial.
It's Monday.
Might as well. You know what I mean? It's drinky time somewhere.
Yeah, we just did the Richmond tattoo convention this weekend,
Yeah.
which was fun. And now it's Monday again, and I'm drinking. I'm only drinking because I'm doing this with you right now. I couldn't
Right.
do this. So
Right. You can't do it sober. You got
I'm
bad anxiety or something.
I do get somewhat anxiety when I do these things. I don't know why.
Right. I'm like,
Even though I know you and we're friends and stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know.
so what do you? So
Some other nerddom
Yeah.
that I like to bring up.
Okay. Go ahead.
Me and my lady just finished rewatching The Sopranos
Hmm.
a couple weeks ago,
I have a couple of other friends that are rewatching The Sopranos too.
and they are filming the prequel movie called Newark.
Hmm.
And I just found out that they have a Sopranos like Comic-Con
Oh,
in New Jersey,
that's pretty sweet.
and it's like the bunch of people from the cast are going to be there, and like a whole bunch of stuff. And it's the weekend we're getting married.
So what's
Yeah.
the verdict? Can't go then.
Yeah. So we're pushing the wedding back a week. We're canceling Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But no, I thought that was super cool, and I hope they do it next year
Right.
so we can go for our like 1 year wedding anniversary. Go do a bunch of this.
Yeah. So what do you think about this whole Spider-Man situation, man?
I was going to ask you about that next.
Really?
Even though I'm on your show and I'm asking you questions.
Hey, nobody asked me questions. So I think it's so sad what's happening with Spider-Man. Like,
Broke my heart.
Yeah.
I thought I was getting punked. I was getting trolled by one of my friends. He was like, he texted me a link, and I was like, ha ha, like fuck you.
Right.
Like after fucking Far From Home killed it in the box office, like
Yeah.
and after Endgame and like all this building up,
Yeah.
like Iron Man dying, and he's supposed to like take over Tony's spot in the Avengers, like just be like, yeah, I know that.
It's such a bummer, and like, you know, and I follow a lot of people that do videos about it and stuff, and like it made me realize that like they're already starting to do the same shit that they used to do that ruined Spider-Man. Like they were already okay. So like as soon as they had him back and he was out of the MCU, they're like, reshoots are being done for the Morbius movie. Spider-Man will be in it, and then it's like now they're about to start shooting Venom, where we're shoehorning in Spider-Man into that one.
Yeah.
And then they announced like 4 Spider-Man TV series or something like that. I was like,
huh?
What? Slow down.
Yeah. It's like, we get it.
You like money.
Yeah. Don't ruin it.
Right. So it's going to be, you know, like the way they ended Spider-Man Far From Home, like what are they going to do? Like what are they going to fucking do? Like,
and then they're keeping Tom Holland.
Yeah.
So it's like, what?
Yeah. And I
think that like they went back in to like maybe renegotiate.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
And it was a complete flop. And
yeah.
The powers that be were like, no, we like all the money though.
Right.
These fans.
It's so typical though. If you just look at our society, it's like we just can't get things that we enjoy because it's like money. It's not about what you enjoy. It's about money, like everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look at what happened with the last 2 Avengers movies. They're the highest selling movies of all time.
Yeah.
Like it's that because for a reason.
Yeah. Not
just because of what studio is putting it out. It's because it's done right.
Yeah. They took their time, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's a shame that whenever you watch a 90s cartoon about X-Men or Spider-Man, it has slayed the X-Men movies or slayed the Sony version of
the Saturday morning X-Men cartoons were they're still to this day amazing.
Right. Except for
the animation.
Even when but the thing is, the final couple of seasons or season or whatever, where they went to the Philippines and they like did new animation for cheaper prices, like
I didn't see that.
No, yeah, like the very last season. That's why it fell off so hard, is because the final season, I think they went to a different company for it was like a cheaper budget, and the animation was different, and everybody was like, not watching this anymore. So. But those were still better than the X-Men movies, even those.
Yeah. And that the intro music is legendary.
Fuck yeah.
That lead.
I saw a making of the music for that show, and it was like the guy who composed it originally. And they were like, "What?" So like, "What's the secret? Why is that song so memorable? Why is it so iconic?" And he was like, "Hi-hats." All the hi-hats. so then they dove deep into the recording, and it was just like so many and he was like, "Yep, I added so many hi-hats, it's sick now." I was like, it's not the riff. No, that's not it.
No,
it's
it's not the lead at all. It's just us hi-hats.
Yeah.
The band Power Glove did a cover of that, and it's actually dope.
Yeah.
Like super dope.
So John, you remember John Gainey? He was in Iwabo. He does a lot of music for my channel, and he sent me he made a version of the X-Men song, and then he made a remix of the X-Men song, and then he was working on a heavy version of the X-Men song, and it was all voluntary. I was like, yo, hook me up with an X-Men song, and he's like, I got this one, I got this one, I got this, and then it was like a breakdown. It was like,
Yeah, send those to me though, because
yeah, go ahead.
Dumb.
Yeah, that's dumb, but you need to send me those.
Yeah. My only hope with Spider-Man though is that if it's gonna go the way it's gonna go, we have no say in it.
Mm-hmm.
But just expand upon the Venom and Carnage storyline. That's
Right.
the best they can do.
Here's the best case scenario. Sony is like, yo, we got this idea for the Spider-Verse movie, right? And they're like,
Yeah.
so like we're gonna get Tom Holland, and then we're gonna get like these other versions of different Spider-Man or whatever, and we're gonna make this crazy movie about different, multiverses. And
Yeah.
then the movie ends up being pretty good, but they obviously don't make as much money. And then they're like, "What's up, Marvel?"
Yeah.
So then we get like a Spider-Verse movie with like other Spider-Men. They do their own thing, and then we're like, "Okay, that pleased us." And then we're like, "But we're not going to give you that much more money unless you go back to Marvel." So that would be ideal. I heard a rumor that they went back to Marvel with a Spider-Man Venom deal in mind, but that I haven't, like, I think it was just a big rumor, which,
Right. That's
Yeah.
that's what I.
yeah.
Yeah. But a Miles Morales would be cool.
I mean, we heard
They
his
own the
name.
rights.
We heard it.
Or is it just Spider-Man, like the whole Spider-Verse?
Right.
Sony owns.
They own all of the
They own.
Spider-Man.
Okay, I was
So,
about
like,
to say, do
all
they
the
own
villains.
Peter Parker? Or
Yeah.
Do they own all of them?
They own all the villains, all of the characters, like, so anything that comes with it. So,
Whack.
yeah. But I also saw a thing saying that, so all of the writers, so the thing is, like, Sony had a team of writers,
Mm-hmm.
and they would conversate with Kevin Feige about everything in the story and where it was going. So supposedly those same writers are doing the next Spider-Man movie, but without Kevin Feige. So it's like, so they know what they need to do, what they can and can't do. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it's not like it's a completely. Of course, I say that, but then Sony is also like, Topher Grace, Venom. He seems like the right guy.
This is a good idea. Have you ever seen? Do you know Pete Holmes, the comedian?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Have you ever
his are pretty funny. I love Pete Holmes. That show Crashing was so amazing.
Yeah.
I'm into that. That made me want to do stand up.
Yeah. It's like, hey, this is really hard. It's kind of like band life,
Right.
just doing it yourself without other people.
And that's the hard part, honestly. Being on stage by yourself is way harder than a bunch of other idiots hitting things and strumming
Dude,
stuff.
being a frontman, like when a room just goes dead silent, they're just listening to you talking, and breathing,
Yeah.
and you're just like, okay, this is anxiety. But no, his YouTube series, the X-Men, X-Man,
Yeah.
I think, yeah,
I think so.
where
I can't
where
remember.
he's Professor X and he's firing all the X-Men.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's like, Wolverine, you do what?
And then in that House of X comic, like, Professor is like super creepy for some reason. I'm like, because like every panel he's in, you're like, there's something going on with Professor. Like he's not the same guy he used to be. Like there's a panel where like Jean like steps into, there's like, so Krakoa opens like these little portals. Like anywhere the Krakoa plant has grown, he could open a portal. So she steps through like to come home. And then you see Professor Xavier playing with like mutant kids, and Wolverine's out there playing with the kids too. And he notices Jean, and he just looks at her, and he walks. In this version of Professor, he walks around. His legs work, and he's always wearing a Cerebro helmet.
That's weird.
And it has a big X on the front of it. But he sees Jean, and he looks at her, and he gives her this smile, and he's like, and then he's like, "Welcome home, Jean." And you're like, this is weird. This is weird. Something's going on with that guy.
Like, did Charles touch Jean back in the day?
Well, you know that
Did
there
he
was.
tell anyone? Because he's like telling her in her mind, it's like, if you tell anyone, bitch.
You know, there was like a big reveal at one point where like he secretly was in love with Jean. It was kind of awkward. So
I did hear that.
yeah.
Yeah.
They, after he died, they started revealing all sorts of weird, pervy shit about Professor Xavier. You know why? Because writing. That's why. I need.
Yeah.
Okay, we need this writer to come in, and you don't get your paycheck until you write an X-Men story. Professor's a pervert. Here's some money.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Was that when Me Too, the hashtag Me Too thing got big?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Professor X is touching kids.
Yeah. So casting for the new X-Men movie, I think Kevin Spacey will play Professor X.
Kevin Spacey, oh my god.
Yeah, and
Oh my
I heard
God.
he's been doing some method acting.
Yeah, right. Really getting into the role. Preparing for it his whole life. Kevin Spacey would actually be a good Professor X. Shady shit aside. I think he would.
Right. So what do you? I heard this rumor. I think it's a big rumor for hype reasons and shit. But you know, Marvel is really into diversity, and I heard that they put out a thing saying that they're trying to recast Professor and Magneto as minorities.
What?
It doesn't make sense, does it? I'm all about diversity, but when you recast someone who's already been a certain color for like 80 years of comics, like,
Yeah.
just don't mess with it. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Professor X is a bald white dude.
Right.
Magneto is a
White
jack,
guy.
a jack old white dude.
Yeah.
For some
Right.
reason, he had like white ass hair. He was like 80, but he was ripped.
Right. And he hooked up with Rogue, man.
Yeah. I mean,
What a lucky guy.
yeah. I mean, I don't get it. I'm not like against anything, but
You don't want to say anything bad, do you? Here's how I stand on the situation. I know that a lot of people get weird. They're like, okay, I think that if a comic tells you a story about how they pass the mantle to a new person, like a Black Spider-Man or a girl version of, you know, Thor or whatever, and it's like a big storyline and it happens that way, it's like, well, they put a lot of effort into this, and I understand that we need like girls and minorities to relate, for our children to relate to.
yeah.
But when they're just like,
Apparently, they're going to do the girl Thor story with the new Thor.
what's that?
Jane Foster is apparently going to be the girl Thor.
Right. If they tell the right story, sure, let's do it. But then whenever they're just like, Professor's gonna be a Mexican dude, it's like, it just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, and I see a lot of videos where people, you know, complain about this, like tokenizing characters is stupid. And it's like, well, if you write it in a tasteful way in the comic book first, you know what I mean? Sure, I'm down for it. So.
Yeah, it's just like the whole Little Mermaid controversy.
Right.
It's like you don't want to sound racist as fuck by complaining that much. But at the same time, it's like Ariel is like a white girl with red hair, like ginger as fuck. Like,
yeah,
come on.
But there, even that, like, if you really pay attention, like, as soon as somebody said this to me, I mean, first of all, I didn't care that much. I was like, you know, Little Mermaid's on my top 10 list of Disney movies, but I wasn't like, I was like, whatever, she's a mermaid. Like, that's what somebody said to me too. It's like, she's a mermaid. What color are mermaids? And I was like, I don't know, whatever. And they're like, and the other person's like, yeah, because it's a fictional creature. So I was like, yeah, you kind of got a point there. Like,
yeah,
But if a mermaid crawled out of the river and went to like CNN and was on the news, and they were like, all mermaids are white, then I would be like, well, Disney, you heard it.
That'd be true.
Yeah.
What was that?
Ariel is Dutch. That's why I have a problem with it.
Ariel is Dutch.
The whole story is based in that part of the world.
Do you want to get in on this? Do you want to chime in?
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
All right, crap. Here we go. I care a lot about this because I love The Little Mermaid.
Okay.
And the original story, I forget the author's name. I have the book around here somewhere. It's a Dutch story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and even if you look at what's it called, Frozen, the first scene at Frozen, that movie, it's taking place like in the Netherlands, like that whole area, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's super, super into that culture. The first scene is the boat in the ocean going down, and that is the boat from The Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah,
All right.
I remember. Yeah.
It's a little like that, yeah. So those kids from Frozen, their parents were on that boat when that boat went down. Okay, so it was one set in the 1800s, aborted, like in those times.
Yeah.
White people from the Netherlands were sailing those seas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not only that, they're getting rid of singing in Mulan, and they're getting rid of the dragon in Mulan because they think it's going to be disrespectful of Chinese culture. But it's Mulan.
I mean, these are
Disney.
Yeah,
They're not letting them sing now.
I think honestly, everyone is wound a little too uptight about everything, and like for me, I don't like when you're doing so like we're having these cartoons turned into real life movies, and I'm just like the cartoons there. I am bummed about certain aspects, like the music. You know what I mean? Like the music is what made certain things, but we could always still watch the old one. You know what I mean? But if they're disrespecting the story further to just like completely change everything, that's when I start getting mad about it. You know what I mean?
That's when I start throwing stuff in the movie theater.
Right. But I am upset about the singing.
It's not infuriating. I feel like it's really important that we bring more, minorities into roles that were always cast, as these,
right.
Aryan-looking humans. But it's kind of ridiculous when you're changing the entire essence of what Disney is. You're not even letting them sing anymore. You're not even, because music isn't true to China. Like it's kind of silly, man. This is for kids. Like,
well, Aladdin and the Lion King, they definitely killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Even in Aladdin, they added a song about women being more empowered, yet they wouldn't let her wear a tube top like they used to back in the movies. I care a lot about this stuff.
Yeah.
This is for another time. Continue on your podcast. Big
Yeah.
Disney fan.
Well, I honestly the way I view it is like, look, I am upset with the way that they bring certain stuff to the table, but like, why couldn't we just get a completely original new Disney cartoon that tells the minority story? Let's do that. You know what I mean? And then we could make that a live action movie eventually.
Yeah.
But sometimes interfering in what we know and is nostalgic to us, that's why we get mad about it. You know what I mean?
Because they hold it very near and dear. This is what we grew up with.
Right.
But you identify with, and
right.
It is what it is. And
like when it comes to X-Men, hey, let's take a look at the roster. How many people are like not white? Like that's what the X-Men are all about.
Yeah.
it's like a group of ragtag mixed people all hanging out trying to coexist with each other. So
yeah.
But yeah.
And I one of the reasons why I identified so closely with the X-Men and why I'm so upset with the movie franchise is because the mansion is supposed to be set in Westchester, New York, which is where I grew up.
Oh yeah. That's tight.
So
you're an X-Men.
Yeah, I always thought I was an X-Men.
That's sweet.
And that's why they got to New York City so fast when shit was going down.
Yeah, that's true.
Cruise on.
the blackbird just flew out of the chimney or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, we should probably wrap it up because we've been talking for like an hour and 20 or something. But I'll cut some stuff out of there. Make it
smooth.
Yeah, make it smooth. Anything else you wanna say?
It's been real. I miss you.
I miss you too, bud.
As a person, friend.
Well, I miss being on tour and having at least one person that will check out any comic book store or ditch setting up gear to go watch a movie like Ant-Man.
Yeah, remember? Oh, I forgot we did that in Albuquerque.
Right.
That's
and
right.
I was pretty nervous because I was like, guys, Tim asked me to go see Ant-Man, but it means you would have to carry some of my gear. And they're like, shut up and just go. I'm like, really? Thanks,
I was like, guys, I'm missing another load in. Go to see a movie.
Well, you were the singer. I'm the bass player. I gotta fucking.
If they got loaders, it's fine. There's no stairs.
See, the singer, when you're the singer, you're like, yo, I'm going to a fucking movie. Fuck off. And then when you're the bass player, you're like, am I fired if I go to a movie?
No, like I carried my own weight. I loaded, I would say, like 70% of the time.
Right.
There'd be times where I show up to the venue, it's like, I gotta take a shit. I come back out and you guys are done? I can say that now because I'm out of the band. It's fine. I'm like a shit for it. But yeah, I totally did that.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's been fun, and I hope to do it again sometime. And maybe we could do this in person sometime if fate ever steps in and says,
yes.
Hey.
Like I said, maybe next year for the Dallas Tattoo Expo if we make it down there.
That'd be dope.
Or if we just so happen to be in Dallas, I'll definitely hit you up as always.
That sounds good.
Or if you're ever in New York.
See you later, nerds.